I was put on this earth to seek and destroy and to hurt people.
Lesnar, those clubbing forearms from the ground and pound position.
When is enough enough?
Is that sadistic?
Brock Lesnar. The former MMA star is one of the most decorated combat sports athletes in history.
The first man to hold the NCAA Division I Heavyweight Championship, the UFC title, and the WWE title.
WWE had on their hands one of the most legitimate fighters to ever grace the sport, and they made sure his booking would reflect that. When the Conqueror made his WWE return in 2012, Brock Lesnar assaulted WWE legend John Cena and F5 the face that runs the place right in the middle of the ring.
We need a guy to legitimize this company, and Brock Lesnar's that guy. We're tired of John Cena's bullcrap.
The rivalry became the subject of a UFC vs WWE fantasy booking, and the two superstars did try to live up to that hype.
Oh my God! And look, here we go! Lesnar, take that step!
Everyone remembers that infamous brawl when Brock Lesnar left the face of WWE with a bloody lip. But that was only a sign of things to come.
I got one objective in mind. Bring the pain to John Cena.
Going into the pay-per-view, fans expected the match to turn into a complete shoot. Therefore, in the first 15 seconds of the bout, Lesnar would bust Cena's head wide open.
And here we go, John Cena! He came right out of the box, and Lesnar with a takedown, and Brock Lesnar with the elbows and the forearms.
Using his MMA prowess, the Beast would put his opponent on his back and proceed to throw well-placed elbow shots, one of which landed square on top of John Cena's head.
Yeah, but watch the next one, watch this one, right, watch this one there, right there. Right there.
The gruesome gash could be seen immediately pouring out with blood. At first, Big Match John did seem to recover from the shots, but as time went on and the match slowed down, referees and doctors kept interfering to check on him. Lesnar absolutely brutalized Cena in a sadistic onslaught of punches, knees and submissions, making it very hard to watch. However, Super Cena lived up to his nickname and hanged in there for as long as he could to finally win the match.
Look at Cena, watch Cena, right hand, Cena with a chain to the skull!
As Brock attempted to knock Cena off the apron, he was met with a punch wrapped in steel chain, a receipt for the elbow shot. One attitude adjustment on the steel stairs and it was all over. While taking the W in the match, Cena did come out worst out of the two. After discussing with the doctors in the ring, it became clear that he had suffered a serious injury to his left shoulder and a possible concussion from the blows.
Mom, how'd I do? I look okay? I'm in one piece, my arm's a little messed up.
Cena then went into business for himself and took the mic to bid farewell to the crowd, as he believed he would be out for quite some time after the Beast's mauling.
I got no left arm, I'm tasting my own blood. And if I gotta take a vacation, so be it.
Lesnar roughed up Cena so badly, it sent a clear message to both WWE superstars and fans. Credits due to the champ for pulling through in the match, but most importantly, it served as a reminder to never provoke the Beast again. 4 years after busting open John Cena's skull, Brock Lesnar would now be facing another of his colleagues from the OVW days as developmental talent, Randy Orton.
You'll never hit an RKO on the Beast!
Oh my God!
The build to the Summerslam match in 2016 was practically non-existent, with Orton coming back from a 9-month hiatus following a shoulder injury and Brock coming off the fight against Mark Hunt a month before at UFC 200. Therefore, the match was simply announced as the main event with no title or stakes, but more of a rematch 15 years in the making since their last clash in 2002.
Everything that I've accomplished far supersedes what Randy Orton could ever dream about.
Saying that, one cannot overlook Orton's shoot promo on Jericho's highlight reel. When the Viper made his return to WWE, he took a jab at Brock Lesnar's controversial UFC drug test fail after UFC 200.
So get to Viperville, no enhancement needed.
Some may claim that the line was not improvised but was in fact scripted to make their feud feel more personal and garner more heat going into the pay-per-view, which may explain the match finish. At Summerslam, the two legends went at it right out of the gate, with the Beast suplexing around the Apex Predator, pulling out their finishes relatively quickly and even including table spots.
That mission may be about to be accomplished. Oh,
But at last the finish came, and it was not pretty. After taking off his gloves, the UFC heavyweight mounted his opponent and elbowed him right on the crown of his head. You can actually hear the sound of the blows making contact.
pound position. This is just bare bones trying to bust up your opponent. That's look at this. Lesnar looking to open up Orton with those elbows.
Orton was busted open, and the blood pouring everywhere made it look like an outright crime scene. After doctors stepped in, the referee put an end to the bout via KO, with a chuffed Lesnar leaning in the corner, marveling at his destruction. Whilst the Cena incident was still fresh in everyone's mind, the SummerSlam crowd was still in utter shock at the horrific sight of Orton lying motionless and bloody.
Couldn't tell by the 10 staples holding my head together. I was in one hell of a fight.
Could it have all been a shoot after what Orton said about Lesnar's UFC drug test? Chris Jericho seemed to be under that impression, as he went on to confront Brock backstage for that reason, before the altercation got broken up. The general consensus appears to be that busting open Orton was a worked shoot, and done to elevate a very poorly built main event. And since we are discussing it to this day, it's safe to say that it certainly worked. During the 2010s, there were no other two superstars so relentlessly pushed into the main event scene than Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns.
I am gonna up Roman Reigns.
Their WrestleMania trilogy is the stuff of legends, culminating with the title unification of the two major belts at the time, and Reigns coming out victorious. But whilst the Tribal Chief stood tall at WrestleMania 38, in the previous clash at WrestleMania 34, things would stand completely different. Going into the pay-per-view, the two megastars' journeys to the grandest stage of them all were in a way mirroring each other. The Big Dog had previously won the WWE title at WrestleMania 32 and subsequently pinned The Undertaker at WrestleMania 33 into semi-retirement.
Going for a triple! A third F5 to The Undertaker!
Whilst the Beast ended, Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania 30 had won the Universal title at WrestleMania 33 and had not been pinned since. By the time Reigns had won the Elimination Chamber match to challenge Lesnar at Mania, the champion's title reign had become stale and fans have grown resentful of his scarce part-time title defenses. Therefore, when the only two men to have defeated the Phenom on the grandest stage of them all met in the main event, fans assumed that the Roman Empire would finally conquer Suplex City and liberate Raw's top prize.
He clearly doesn't respect this place. I'm sick and tired of seeing this fool disrespect my lifestyle, disrespect my family business.
The only problem was that, as hated as the Beast was, The big dog had been stuffed down everyone's throats for years and years as the next face of WWE. This all resulted in fans turning on both men. At the show of shows, audible boos were accompanied by chants of boring, this is awful, and CM Punk. Not to mention Beach Ball Mania running wild and stealing the show.
Not here, not an F5 out of the table and through the table.
Despite a litany of dramatic kickouts from multiple spears and F5s, it became clear that the match could not be turned around. A visibly frustrated Lesnar then proceeded to take off his gloves, and by that point it was clear what was in store. He mounted Reigns, grabbed him by the hair, and elbowed him straight in his forehead.
Oh my God! And now Lesnar delivering. Oh my God! You can hear the bones cracking.
The big dog was busted open and left a bloody mess, soaking the grandest stage in blood. But not even that silenced the crowds.
This is awful.
The match then went on for a couple of more spears and F5s before Lesnar secured a pin and walked out with the title, only for then to throw it at Vince McMahon backstage in anger. The match was a disaster, with a beaten up Roman Reigns laying in the ring while the fans chanted, "You deserve it," at the future head of the table.
As you can see, I got my ass kicked last night.
4 months later, Reigns would finally slay the Beast and capture the title at SummerSlam, but by that point, it was too little, too late, and the image of a busted up Roman Reigns completely shattered his credibility, while Lesnar's displays of brutality grew tiresome on the fans. Whilst Brock Lesnar's MMA accolades made him a household name in the wrestling industry, in kayfabe, the moment his push reached stratospheric levels was when he became the first ever to pin The Undertaker at Wrestlemania in 2014, ending a 21-year-long undefeated streak. While it was historic and genuine moment of shock to most fans, it must have been a given to the dead man. The two legends go way back and had a great respect for each other's work, even teasing the WrestleMania clash since 2010 at UFC 121.
You want to do it?
To better understand how this mutual respect came to be, we must turn back the clock to the early 2000s. Back then, the Beast was still the next big thing, and the Dead Man was the big evil motorcycle riding American badass. In only 4 months since his debut, Brock Lesnar defeated The Rock at SummerSlam 2002 to become the youngest WWE champion in history. Being thrusted so early into the spotlight, Lesnar now had to live up to the expectations and pressures of being undisputed champion. Enter the Dead Man.
Are you really the next big thing? Or the next big bitch?
The rivalry for the title was quickly turned into a personal feud by involving Taker's pregnant wife Sarah.
Life's a
And the two wrestlers would be brawling senseless, even drawing blood regularly.
The match is over. Oh my God!
Not being able to contain the two hotheads, their final bout was set for the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view inside the Devil's Playground.
To the broken hand! A vicious assault!
Their match is established for being one of the most violent encounters ever within the walls of the demonic structure. And whilst blood was expected as part of the action, Brock Lesnar would take it to a whole different level. Midway through the match, a bloody Lesnar picked up the steel stairs and charged at Taker, laying him out. Whilst there was nothing out of the ordinary in its execution, the level of damage became apparent right away.
Blood pouring. He's got a hole in his damn head.
When Taker stood back up, it revealed a huge gash on the side of his forehead, with blood covering his face in a crimson mask. This was unlike any other cut Taker took on his forehead. This was a gruesome open wound. It was clear that Lesnar overdid the spot and struck Big Evil with the corner of the stairs, busting him wide open. A dazed and bloody Undertaker then continued on with the match for another 8 minutes, losing more and more life fluid in the process. Lesnar would finally lay Taker down with an F5 and move on with his dominant title reign.
Fact of the matter is, Sunday, you had my number.
The encounter took such a toll on the dead man's body that he had to be written off TV for a few months. He went away to recover an already broken hand, as well as all the damage suffered at the hands of the next big thing. One of the most brutal and bloodiest scenes in WWE history came in a popular segment that became known as Brock Lesnar vs. One-Legged Man.
Has Brock Lesnar signed a deal with the devil himself?
After Lesnar turned heel a month before, Lesnar would put his newfound ruthless aggression on display in a match against Zack Gowen.
Imagine what it did to the leg of Zack Gowen. Steel chair hold. Steel chair! Somebody's gotta stop this!
The match quickly turned into an outright assault from Lesnar, hitting Gowen with vicious chair shots, F5s into the ring post, and pushing him off the stretcher.
Last week, Brock, don't do it, Brock! Don't do it! Oh my God!
One of those steel chair shots landed flush on Zack's head, leaving the home crowd favorite laying in a pool of his own blood. The jury's still out if the chair shot did bust up Gowen or if it was the result of some slicing magic, aka blading, but what is certain is the devastation left in the wake of the Beast made for a lasting impression, with the iconic image of Lesnar smearing his victim's blood on his chest.
What sick pleasure does Brock Lesnar get out of doing this to Zack Gowen?
And what made it even worse is that it all unfolded in front of Gowen's own mother in attendance. Yes, that is correct. Brock Lesnar would not even go easy on himself when it came to having some color in his matches.
This shot, this is what busted, boom! That's what busted Lesnar wide open. You can see it, just bingo!
Even with blading or blood packs at his disposal, the former MMA fighter would go to great lengths to preserve his legitimacy by choosing the hard way. His favorite way of achieving a crimson mask was through a method I'd like to call Brock versus ring post. The first time this happened was in the build-up to Triple H vs Lesnar at Wrestlemania 29. The game would return to attack the Beast, shoving him into the steel post in the process.
And now Triple H driving Lesnar into the steel post!
Seconds later, the blood started gushing out from the top of Lesnar's head, while taking the full brunt of Triple H's assault. Lesnar must have been very pleased with how the spot turned out, as 2 years later he would attempt it again in the WrestleMania 31 main event against Roman Reigns.
This could be it right here. This could be it right here. That's it. He beat Roman Reigns that quick.
In the first seconds of the debut match of their trilogy, the Beast Incarnate would show a cut on his cheek from manhandling his opponent, only for the big dog to then hit a stiff knee that left Lesnar with a busted lip.
Watch this, before Roman got thrown out of the ring, he caught Brock. That right there, that stunned Lesnar.
Not to be outdone, and with blood now being a part of the match anyway, Brock would once again have a tete-a-tete with a steel post, to great results.
Not that ring post, not that ring post! Oh my God! Oh, that busted Lesnar wide open.
From then on, a dazed and vulnerable Lesnar struggled to keep up in the match, while also leaving a window of opportunity for a Seth Rollins cash-in for the ages.
I don't even know if Brock Lesnar realizes he lost the title tonight.
The final time this happened was at Hell in a Cell 2015 in the final chapter of Lesnar and Undertaker's storied rivalry.
Tonight he faces his greatest opponent, the Beast Incarnate. Here we go!
For their last ever encounter, the two legends decided to mark the occasion with a bit of color. Therefore, in the first 2 minutes of the bout, the action spilled onto the outside and Lesnar was sent headfirst into the steel post.
Look at the elbows right on the jaw. Lesnar 3 times, stunning the Beast.
The Beast charged towards the post with such velocity that his hand left a dent in the post while his head busted wide open. The Phenom followed suit, drawing blood via blading. WWE officials were not happy with the actions of the two men, as doctors rushed to the ring and constantly interrupted the match to wipe the blood off the wrestlers.
Chairs. Oh my goodness, Brock Lesnar just sent the duck flying. What?
At one point, an infuriated Lesnar would end up shoving one of the doctors away, which did not go down well with the WWE owner. It goes without saying, but following the controversy, this instant would be the last time ever Lesnar would attempt to draw blood the hard way. Lesnar's WWE character had really pushed the envelope of what was acceptable in the PG era to a sometimes gruesome level of punishment to his opponents, leaving blood and broken bones in his path. The Brock Lesnar trademark brutality created a spectacle and a big match feel in every pay-per-view he was a part of. And every opponent that did come out of those onslaughts in one piece could have considered that a victory in itself.
I'm going to leave him in a pile of blood and urine and vomit.